Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print or transparent slide or in digital format. The state of being vulnerable or exposed. His exposure to ridicule. A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print or transparent slide or in digital format. Abandoning without shelter or protection, as by leaving an infant out in the open. Aspect resulting from the direction a building or window faces. The studio had a northern exposure. Presentation to view in an open or public manner. The exposure of his anger was shocking. The act of exposing film to light. The act of subjecting someone to an influencing experience. She denounced the exposure of children to pornography. The disclosure of something secret. They feared exposure of their campaign plans. The intensity of light falling on a photographic film or plate. He used the wrong exposure. Vulnerability to the elements, to the action of heat or cold or wind or rain. Exposure to the weather. Record on photographic film. I photographed the scene of the accident. A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print or transparent slide or in digital format. Undergo being photographed in a certain way. Children photograph well. A form of entertainment that enacts a story by sound and a sequence of images giving the illusion of continuous movement. A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print or transparent slide or in digital format. Graphic art consisting of an artistic composition made by applying paints to a surface. His pictures hang in the Louvre. A visual representation of an object or scene or person or abstraction, produced on a surface. They showed us the pictures of their wedding. A situation treated as an observable object. The political picture is favorable. Show in, or as in, a picture. Illustrations used to decorate or explain a text. The dictionary had many pictures. A form of entertainment that enacts a story by sound and a sequence of images giving the illusion of continuous movement. A graphic or vivid verbal description. Too often the narrative was interrupted by long word pictures. A clear and telling mental image. He described his mental picture of his assailant. Imagine, conceive of, see in one's mind. The visible part of a television transmission. They could still receive the sound but the picture was gone. A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print or transparent slide or in digital format. A typical example of some state or quality. The very picture of a modern general. A presentation to the mind in the form of an idea or image. The state of serving as an official and authorized delegate or agent. A performance of a play. A body of legislators that serve in behalf of some constituency. A congressional vacancy occurred in the representation from California. A creation that is a visual or tangible rendering of someone or something. A factual statement made by one party in order to induce another party to enter into a contract. The sales contract contains several representations by the vendor. An activity that stands as an equivalent of something or results in an equivalent. A statement of facts and reasons made in appealing or protesting. certain representations were made concerning police brutality. The act of representing, standing in for someone or some group and speaking with authority in their behalf. The right of being represented by delegates who have a voice in some legislative body. A photograph of a muscular man in minimal attire. Not having or not capable of producing colors. The movie was in black and white. A black and white photograph or slide. Communication by means of written symbols, either printed or handwritten. An unrestrained expression of emotion. A photographic print that has been enlarged. A violent release of energy caused by a chemical or nuclear reaction. Something intended as a guide for making something else. A blueprint for a house. Make a blueprint of. Photographic print of plans or technical drawings, etc. A photograph of an attractive woman in minimal attire. Made with sweetened cream cheese and eggs and cream baked in a crumb crust. A photograph taken at close range. A photograph made by an early photographic process. The image was produced on a silver plate sensitized to iodine and developed in mercury vapor. A discussion that provides additional information. The act of increasing something in size or volume or quantity or scope. A photographic print that has been enlarged. The state of being enlarged. A system of assumptions and standards that sanction behavior and give it meaning. Formulate in a particular style or language. Make up plans or basic details for. Frame a policy. Construct by fitting or uniting parts together. Baseball. One of 9 divisions of play during which each team has a turn at bat. The hard structure, bones and cartilages, that provides a frame for the body of an animal. Take or catch as if in a snare or trap. The innocent man was framed by the police. Enclose in or as if in a frame. Frame a picture. A framework that supports and protects a picture or a mirror. The frame enhances but is not itself the subject of attention. The internal supporting structure that gives an artifact its shape. Alternative names for the body of a human being. A structure supporting or containing something. An application that divides the user's display into 2 or more windows that can be scrolled independently. A single drawing in a comic strip. A single one of a series of still transparent pictures forming a cinema, television or video film. Enclose in a frame, as of a picture. One of the 10 divisions into which bowling is divided. The framework for a pair of eyeglasses. Reflecting light. The horse's glossy coat. Based on pretense, deceptively pleasing. Superficially attractive and stylish, suggesting wealth or expense. A glossy TV series. Of paper and fabric and leather, having a surface made smooth and shiny especially by pressing between rollers. Glossy paper. A magazine printed on good quality paper. A photograph that is printed on smooth shiny paper. An attempt to put the soccer ball into the net by using the head. A photograph of a person's head. A shot aimed at a person's head. The intermediate photograph, or photographic record, that contains information for reproducing a three-dimensional image by holography. Handwritten book or document. The intermediate photograph, or photographic record, that contains information for reproducing a three-dimensional image by holography. A photograph taken from a distance. A photographic print that has been enlarged, making to seem more important than it really is. The act of expanding something in apparent size. The ratio of the size of an image to the size of the object. Photograph reduced to the size of a dot, usually for purposes of security. A black and white photograph or slide. Having or appearing to have only one color. Painting done in a range of tones of a single color. Arrangement of aerial photographs forming a composite picture. A freeware browser. A pattern resembling a mosaic. Art consisting of a design made of small pieces of colored stone or glass. Transducer formed by the light-sensitive surface on a television camera tube. Viral disease in solanaceous plants, tomatoes, potatoes, tobacco, resulting in mottling and often shriveling of the leaves. Of or relating to Moses or the laws and writings attributed to him. A photograph of someone's face, especially one made for police records. A photograph of someone's face, especially one made for police records. Reproduce by xerography. A photographic copy of written or printed or graphic work. A printed picture produced from a photographic negative. A photograph taken with the help of a microscope. Arrangement of aerial photographs forming a composite picture. Reproduce by printing. Put into print. These news should not be printed. A visible indication made on a surface. Paw prints were everywhere. A printed picture produced from a photographic negative. A copy of a movie on film, especially a particular version of it. A fabric with a dyed pattern pressed onto it, usually by engraved rollers. A picture or design printed from an engraving. Availability in printed form. We've got to get that story into print. Make into a print. Print the negative. The text appearing in a book, newspaper, or other printed publication. I want to see it in print. Write as if with print, not cursive.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.